Hello everyone. The social media conundrum. Okay, we all know that so much has been written about the so-called terms of engagement, about the appropriate protocols to social media, which are causing a lot of people to be fixated on likes, shares, retweets, tagging, and the like. Technology in a rapidly changing world always takes the lead, while the cultural framework with regards to etiquette, behaviors, and healthy relationships always brings up at the rear. Remember when it was exciting to get a phone call because you didn't know who was on the other end of the call? Well, times change, right? We now have the ability to screen calls and not to answer it. Guilty as charged. With social media, the same cultural mores are being challenged as the tools are dependent on to create our behavior rather than us taking the lead and dictating the appropriate behavior when using the tool. I hope that made sense. This is what I've made of it all, and it took a lot of pondering and consideration to write this. So let's take the like. Liking a post must not be obligatory nor used to compensate someone for their friendships or efforts. I think when you like a post, it will be appropriate to have a genuine appreciation of the content at hand. Otherwise, it's an acknowledgement that you've quickly glanced at a post while you're rifling through your feed in an effort to get to the end as soon as possible. With regards to persons putting up a post, it is unwise to demand or expect likes from certain people as a minimum expectation. We keep reading about how the anonymity of social media is breaking down the fabric of relationships. But is it really? Social media is just a vehicle that you're driving. And if your relationships with someone can be easily dismissed due to their lack of liking your post, then I can assure you the foundations of your friendship is weak to begin with, right? I think we all agree on that. Get out of the car of social media and have a proper relationship with someone out of the social media circuit to really evaluate the candor of that person and what that person really means to you. Within this framework of liking posts, it's also worth looking at it from another perspective. There will always be social media surfers referred to as trolls who will hold back liking for privacy or ulterior motives. We may or may not be for admirable reasons, but at the end of the day, they all have a right to decide what, where, and when to engage, even if it's not for good reason. This goes back to the issue of technology driving the culture. If the tool is manipulating us, then we may have unrealistic expectations of others who may think that maybe due to our behaviors, the interaction has to be forced. But the cold reality is the burning question: do we really know any of these people, right? Let's look at the share. Sharing shows an element of really liking the content of the post. You love it so much, you want others to follow you to equally appreciate it, right? Almost suggesting that this is so good it belongs on my wall as well. Ask yourself the question: is this really my view, or am I just making an effort to be popular in an anonymous environment? What does it gain you exactly? Now let's look at sharing from a slightly different perspective. People who use social media as a marketing tool for their business or brand may see sharing differently. For them, it's also an acknowledgement. It's confirmation and support of their product. It's also a way to increase the diversity and the target market for whatever is being sold. Sharing posts provide the means for success to marketing as the product spreads virally through social media. Just as our ability to hit the like or not like button, the page owner has the right to decide what content and who to share that content with equally, right? I think we all agree with that. People who refuse to share for less than admirable reasons also have the right to decide not to share. But it's important for you to know those who may call themselves your friends, since what is potentially at stake is your business or your livelihood. Deciding who to align yourself with when it comes to your business efforts may be an entirely different prospect and a different set of parameters to navigate through, as opposed to just an online friendship or acquaintance. I think we all agree on that as well. Now let's look at the tag. This may be the most perplexing. Tagging another individual in order for your post to appear in that person's feed. Some may not mind at all, since after all, social media is a public forum, right? Wrong. Others who are trying to walk the thin line between being public and private may get offended. Ultimately, it's up to you though. If you don't like the tag, simply remove it. I find it ironic that a few people who take offense to it still state that they are trying to maintain their privacy. But when it's a bit puzzling when you look at their feed and it's full of selfies, right? In one single day, there are roughly 10 million screenshots just within the Ghanaian community alone, where people are sharing others' pictures in chat rooms or on other social media platforms to generate conversations, or simply sometimes for the purpose of spreading nothing but gossip. It's important when you sign up to social media that you understand the parameters in which you operate. People, I will say, most often than not, become fixated with others. Some may vilify others, some may admire others, and some may be inspired by others. So you have to learn to balance the good with the bad. And here are two more, I'll say maybe important considerations. As much as you would like to be private on social media is not. It's always going to be a public forum, as long as you are participating. So don't always expect to put yourself out there and avoid ridicule, envy, and even spite. But mostly, if you decide to stay in the back seat, do expect people to ponder why they have to bother becoming part of it or making you part of it. Remember not to judge people by your timing as well, because not everybody lives by your clock. In social media, your friend, or is it your enemy? That's an interesting question, right? That decision is entirely yours. Thank you for